Namaskar, this is CVR English and it's time to roll the primetime bulletin with me, Anukriti Sharma. A joint operation launched by the Indian Army, Jammu and Kashmir Police and CRPF enters day 3 today. Now this operation was launched on 2 days ago to track the militants hiding in the Ehlan Garol forests of Kokarnag. During a combat, 2 soldiers unfortunately lost their lives in an exchange of bullets with terrorists in the Anantnag area 2 days ago. More forces therefore have now been rushed in the region to boost this operation. The operation is being carried out by the forces at an altitude of 10,000 meters. Former Delhi Deputy Chief Minister and senior Aam Aadmi Party leader Manish Sisodia expressed his confidence in the Supreme Court following a recent order. Now the court has mandated that Sisodia must appear before the Central Bureau of Investigation or the CBI and the Enforcement Directorate or the ED twice a week, specifically on Mondays and Thursdays between 10 and 11 a.m. Now this order is part of an ongoing investigation into the alleged corruption charges. Sisodia has reported that on the morning of the order itself, he complied by first visiting the CBI office followed by visiting the ED office, where he met with the investigating officers against the case. Now his statement reflects a commitment to adhere to the legal requirements while also asserting trust in the entire judicial process. Take a look.
नहीं डिमोटिवेशन नहीं है। लोग जब भी कोई क्राइसिस होता है तो और एकजुटता से और मेहनत से और एक परिवार की तरह से जुटते हैं और मुझे नहीं लगता कि किसी में कोई डिमोटिवेशन था, बल्कि गुस्सा था और संकल्प था कि हम इस संकट के समय में तो किसी में भी कहीं भी कोई टूट फूट नहीं हुई, कहीं भी कोई इधर उधर नहीं हुआ, तो ये बड़ी चीज है। और मुझे लगता है आम आदमी पार्टी की सरकार दिल्ली की ऐसी सरकार है जो सबसे क्रूशियल संकट के समय पे भी दिल्ली की जनता के लिए सबसे ज्यादा काम करती रही। देश में कोई ऐसी सरकार नहीं है, कोई भी संकट आता है हिल जाते हैं, कोई जनता के काम धाम सब किनारे हो जाते हैं, लेकिन जनता के काम संकट के इस समय में भी होते रहे। आम आदमी पार्टी की लीडरशिप अपने सबसे क्रूशियल दौर से गुजरी, अब वो निकल रही है धीरे धीरे। मैं बाहर आ गया, सर भी थोड़े दिन बाहर आ जाएंगे, लेकिन इस सबसे क्रूशियल दौर में पार्टी के कार्यकर्ताओं ने, पार्टी के लीडर्स ने, देश के लोगों ने, दिल्ली के लोगों ने जबरदस्त एकजुटता दिखाई है और यही एकजुटता हमारी ताकत है। नहीं, अब देखिए सुप्रीम कोर्ट की तो हमें पूरी उम्मीद है। सुप्रीम कोर्ट से तो मुझे भी न्याय मिला है। सुप्रीम कोर्ट देश के संविधान के हिसाब से काम करता है और देश के संविधान ने ऐसी स्थितियों के लिए व्यवस्था की हुई है कि जब भी कोई तानाशाही करेगा तो संविधान उसको बचाएगा। आज भी मैं अब गया था, माननीय सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने मुझे अपने आदेश में कहा है कि मैं हर एक मंडे को और हर एक थर्सडे को सुबह 10 बजे से 11 बजे के बीच में ईडी और सीबीआई के दफ्तर में जाके उनके सामने अपना प्रेजेंट करके आऊंगा। तो मैं आज सुबह सीबीआई के दफ्तर गया पहले, उसके बाद मैं ईडी के ऑफिस गया, दोनों के आईओज के सामने मैं मिल के आया।
डिमोटिवेशन आ गया था एक तरह से, उसको कितना चार्जर है?
नहीं, डिमोटिवेशन नहीं है। लोग जब भी कोई क्राइसिस होता है तो और एक
In Madhya Pradesh's Bhopal, Chief Minister Mohan Yadav and Minister Vishwas Kailash Sadang have made statements regarding the Har Ghar Tiranga Yatra. This initiative is a part of a nationwide campaign to encourage citizens to display the Indian flag proudly at their homes, promoting national pride and unity. Yadav and Sarang's comments likely emphasize the importance of this yatra, its objectives and its significance in fostering patriotic sentiments among the people of Madhya Pradesh. Here's a report.
स्वतंत्रता दिवस के इस महोत्सव में डूबा हुआ है। यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री श्रीमान नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में जिस प्रकार से देश आगे बढ़ रहा है, मध्य प्रदेश आगे बढ़ रहा है, मेरी अपनी ओर से प्रदेशवासियों को, देशवासियों को बधाई। आज तिरंगा यात्रा निकल रही है, गली गली, मोहल्ले मोहल्ले, हर घर तिरंगा अभियान में पूरा देश डूबा हुआ है। मेरी अपनी ओर से प्रदेशवासियों को पुनः एक बार बधाई। आज के इस आयोजन में ओलंपियन विकास सागर जो डीएसपी है और हमारे मध्य प्रदेश के इटारसी के रहने वाले हैं, जो ओलंपिक के मेडल पाने वाली टीम के साथी रहे, एक और ओलंपियन निशानेबाज ऐश्वर्य सिंह, दोनों मिलकर के इस यात्रा में शामिल हुए। मेरी अपनी ओर से दोनों खिलाड़ियों के साथ देश में इस बार ओलंपिक में जो खिलाड़ियों ने कमाल किया है, वाकई बधाई के पात्र है। बहुत बहुत बधाई।
आज हजारों की संख्या में नागरिक भोपाल में निकले हैं तिरंगा लेकर। ये यात्रा हमारे यशस्वी प्रधानमंत्री जी के आह्वान पर हमने आयोजित की है। हमारे मुख्यमंत्री मोहन यादव जी यात्रा में शामिल हुए और उसके साथ ही हॉकी के हमारे स्टार प्लेयर ओलंपियन विवेक सागर जी और शूटिंग के हमारे ओलंपियन ऐश्वर्य सिंह भी इस यात्रा में शामिल हुए। हर घर तिरंगा, हर शहर में यात्रा, ये तिरंगा को आत्मसात करते हुए इस देश की एकता अखंडता के लिए हम अपना सर्वस्व लगाएं, इस संकल्प के साथ आज हमने ये यात्रा निकाली है।
In Bihar's Patna, students from the Bihar Public Service Commission, the Teachers Recruitment Examination Part 3 have organized a nationwide protest. Now, these students are likely demanding action on various issues related to the recruitment process, the examination procedures and other concerns affecting their academic and professional futures. The protest aims to draw attention to their grievances and seek resolution from the authorities. Here's a report. In Vilanka of Kozhikode in Kerala, a landslide has occurred, causing significant disruption in the area. The landslide has likely led to damage to property, infrastructure and possibly affecting the local residents. Emergency services and local authorities are likely involved in the rescue and the relief operations, working to mitigate the impact and also assist those affected by the disaster. The situation would be under assessment to address immediate needs and plan for any necessary recovery efforts if required.
Yeah, so actually we lost many vehicles from this side, and also the students they were using laptops or mobile phones, even they also had the insurance coverage. So actually whenever the insurance authorities they visit the places, actually they are asking for the proof. Actually right now, as per I can tell you my situation, so actually we lost 6 vehicles. Among those 6 vehicles, we are not able to identify, or we really don't know where 3 vehicles are. Right now we are not able to find 1 car and 2 bikes. So they are asking for the affidavit, and they are telling that we need to find out the vehicles. You can see those rocks, right? So actually when we got the 140 Hitachi or 200 Hitachi, so they are all those Hitachis are not able to move those rocks. Obviously we are really helpless. We won't be able to move that. Yeah, it's a disaster. Obviously a government should take a decision over here, and they should support the students and the other people, especially those who lost the laptops and mobile phones, and maybe they might have covered other things as well, even especially the vehicles. So my humble request to the government, they should announce a package or the special rules and regulations for considering this insurance policy protection. Yeah, even the mental health support also. And one more thing, actually both of my sons are admitted in Kannur Baby Memorial Hospital. So actually both of them, from that day onwards, they are not keeping well. Actually they got shocked. The elder one got shocked, and he's mentally depressed. So he's not able to sleep properly. So whenever he sleeps, all of a sudden those rocks sound, and whatever the incident happens, so everything is that flashback is going through the mind. So right now, so he's admitted in the Kannur BMH hospital, so under the treatment. So actually even the last night, even I visited my kids, and just today morning I came back here. So I think
Now, before I get into the main focus of my show, I want to make it very clear that the views expressed on this show are hosted on my own. They're strictly personal, and they do not reflect the views of any organization. So making that very clear right off the bat. Everyone, hello everyone to this editorial, my daily discussion, where, as the title suggests, I comment right off the bat, unfiltered, untarnished. राहुल गांधी को गुस्सा क्यों आता है? Why is Rahul Gandhi seemingly angry all the time? Or should I rather mischievously say, Rahul Gandhi को देखकर नरेंद्र मोदी जी को इतना गुस्सा क्यों आता है? You see, ever since the general election results in the Congress's mini revival, Rahul Gandhi has been on a bit of a roll, and he is being trying to carry the momentum of the Congress's mini revival forward in those elections. Those roles during the elections are now being carried forward into the parliamentary sessions. So you see Rahul Gandhi with his newfound aggression, as we saw in his budget speech, where he raised the issue of the caste census and questioned even the caste identity of the budget makers. Take a look at how Rahul Gandhi expressed his thoughts with such conviction and power.
सर, ओबीसी की बात जनगणना की बात बहुत की जाती है। माननीय सभापति जी, जिसकी जात का पता नहीं वो गणना की बात करता है।
जितना मेरा आप लोग इंसल्ट करना चाहते हैं, आप खुशी से करिए, आप रोज करिए, मगर एक बात मत भूलिए, जाति जनगणना को हम यहाँ पास करके दिखाएंगे।
बड़े दल के नेता हैं, मंत्री रहे हैं, बड़ी बात कर रहे थे। मैं महाभारत
और हम इस चक्रव्यूह को तोड़ने जा रहे हैं। एक ऐतिहासिक निर्णय कांग्रेस वर्किंग कमेटी ने लिया है और यूनानिमसली लिया है। हमारे चीफ मिनिस्टर ने भी डिसीजन लिया है कि वो भी राजस्थान में, कर्नाटक में, छत्तीसगढ़ में, हिमाचल में कास्ट सेंसस को आगे बढ़ाएंगे। आई थिंक इट इज ए वेरी वेरी प्रोग्रेसिव स्टेप, अ वेरी पावरफुल स्टेप फॉर द एमेंसिपेशन ऑफ द पुअर पीपल in our country. The entire Congress party has decided that it is going to wholeheartedly not just support the idea of the caste census, but force the BJP to carry out the caste census or then get out of the way so we can carry out the caste census. 4 घंटे हमारी कास्ट सेंसस पे चर्चा हुई, डिस्कशन हुआ और एक ऐतिहासिक निर्णय कांग्रेस वर्किंग कमेटी ने लिया है और यूनानिमसली लिया है। मगर मतलब कमरे में कोई ऐसा व्यक्ति नहीं था जिसने अपना पूरा सपोर्ट कास्ट सेंसस का जो कॉन्सेप्ट है उसको नहीं दिया। तो काफी खुशी की बात है। हमारे यहाँ चीफ मिनिस्टर्स बैठे हैं। हमारे चीफ मिनिस्टर्स ने भी डिसीजन लिया है कि वो भी राजस्थान में, कर्नाटक में, छत्तीसगढ़ में, हिमाचल में कास्ट सेंसस को आगे बढ़ाएंगे। देयर इज अ वेरी बिग डिसीजन टेकन टुडे बाय द कांग्रेस वर्किंग कमेटी। Unanimously, the working committee has supported the idea of a caste census in the country. And I think it is a very, very progressive step, a very powerful step for the emancipation of the poor people in our country. We've also, our chief ministers are also believe that it's an important step for them to take. So our states are also considering this and actioning this step. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
एक मिनट एक करके संजीव, एक मिनट प्लीज रुक जाइए। हाँ जी।
Now all of this has clearly got under the BJP skin. विश्वास नहीं करते हो? Don't believe me? Just look at the speech that the former Union Minister Anurag Thakur gave after this.
से उनके सेंस ऑफ एंटाइटलमेंट को गहरी चोट लगी, जिसका असर हुआ कि पूरे इकोसिस्टम ने चीख पुकार मचाना शुरू कर दी। इन्हें लगता है कि सवाल पूछने का हक सिर्फ इन्हें है क्योंकि ये प्रिविलेज्ड है। ये वही लोग हैं जिनके पूर्वज पिछड़ों को, दलितों को, वंचितों को बुद्धू कहा करते थे। जो दूसरों को बुद्धू कहा करते थे, आज उन्हीं के घर में बुद्धुओं की भरमार है। ये वही लोग हैं जिनके पूर्वज दलितों, आदिवासियों को समानता का अधिकार न देने के बहाने बनाते थे। ये वही लोग हैं जिन्हें लगता था कि कैसे उनके सामने कोई दलित व्यक्ति कोट पैंट पहनकर खड़ा हो सकता है और संविधान लिख सकता है। बुद्धू मैं नहीं कह रहा, बुद्धू तो कांग्रेस के तत्कालीन प्रधानमंत्री श्री राजीव गांधी जी ने कहा था, वह भी सार्वजनिक रूप से। सांझ को आंच किया श्रीमान राहुल गांधी जी, पूरी कांग्रेस जमात पढ़ ले कि स्वर्गीय राजीव गांधी जी ने कहा था, आरक्षण के नाम पर बुद्धुओं को बढ़ावा नहीं देंगे। जो हमारे पड़ोसी मुल्क बांग्लादेश में हाल ही में घटा, उसको लेकर हम सब लोग चिंतित भी हैं और सभी राजनीतिक दलों ने एक स्वर में बात भी कही कि वहां पर जो अपने लोग हैं उनकी भी चिंता की जाए। लेकिन दुर्भाग्य ये है सर कि नेता प्रतिपक्ष और कांग्रेस पार्टी के अध्यक्ष ने ट्वीट जब किया या उनको बधाई जब दी, तो हिंदुओं की वहां पर सुरक्षा की कोई बातचीत नहीं की। ऐसी कौन सी मजबूरी थी कि ये लोग वहां पर हिंदुओं और अल्पसंख्यकों की सुरक्षा की बात भी नहीं कर सके। मैं आपका आभारी हूं क्योंकि जो हमारे पड़ोसी मुल्क बांग्लादेश में हाल ही में घटा, उसको लेकर हम सब लोग चिंतित भी हैं और सभी राजनीतिक दलों ने एक स्वर में बात भी कही कि वहां पर जो अपने लोग हैं उनकी भी चिंता की जाए। माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने भी ट्वीट करके जो इंटरिम गवर्नमेंट के प्रधानमंत्री हैं उनको बधाई भी दी, लेकिन ये भी कहा कि हमारे जो वहाँ पर हिंदू और अल्पसंख्यक हैं उनकी शांति, सुरक्षा और विकास सबको सुनिश्चित किया जाए। लेकिन दुर्भाग्य ये है सर कि नेता प्रतिपक्ष और कांग्रेस पार्टी के अध्यक्ष ने ट्वीट जब किया या उनको बधाई जब दी, तो हिंदुओं की वहां पर सुरक्षा की कोई बातचीत नहीं की, ना ही उसका उल्लेख किया, ना ही अल्पसंख्यकों की सुरक्षा की बात की। ऐसी कौन सी मजबूरी थी कि ये लोग वहां पर हिंदुओं और अल्पसंख्यकों की सुरक्षा की बात भी नहीं कर सके? गाजा को लेके आपने बड़ी बड़ी बातें की, गाजा को लेके
That scene was in the parliament, rather a temperamental response to Rahul Gandhi, which was promptly retweeted by Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. Like him or not, Rahul Gandhi at the moment is running with the narrative. The question though is it the right narrative? When Rahul Gandhi raises caste census in the manner that he does, is he doing the right thing? Or is he entering a minefield? That's what I want to discuss and share with you on this episode of the editorial. 5 reasons where Rahul Gandhi has got it absolutely right, but 5 reasons, or rather 5 factors where he might have got it a little wrong. Let's take first up where he's got it right. Number 1, let's be clear. Caste is the most enduring reality of this country. So if Rahul Gandhi reminds us of that, it may discomfort some of us upper caste privileged Indians, but it is, however, disconcerting a reality. Just look at the matrimonial ads and the matrimonial apps on Play Store. Wanted for upper caste Brahmin fair complexion boy, or a fair complexion Brahmin Kshatriya girl, or look around yourself. How many Dalits, OBCs and the Adivasis do we have in the society? The reality is, we are a land of upper caste privileged people. If Rahul Gandhi wants to point that out, albeit as an entitled man himself, then so be it. I think he's right in doing that. Number 2, caste gets you votes. जाति से आपको वोट मिलते हैं. So if the BJP can play on the Hindutva vote bank, the Congress at the moment wants to play on the OBC vote bank. And that's how politics works. Politics is all about getting votes. So from that political perspective, maybe Rahul Gandhi thinks he's on to a good thing. Number 3, India needs a census, my friends. We do need a census. Like it or not, the fact is, our last census was in 2011. We needed a census in 2021. Then COVID happened and it got derailed. It got delayed and it's still not happened. How do you ensure effective socio-economic policy interventions unless you have a proper census in the country? So if Rahul Gandhi's interventions highlight that aspect, it's again worthy. Number 4, the Congress party needs to be seen as a more representative party. The Congress party got left behind by the Mandal revolution. The Mandal revolutionaries took over the entire North India, and the Congress party was seen as this upper caste, Brahmanical, hierarchical political party, call it what you will. If Rahul Gandhi has sensed this, if he has recognized this and now wants to make the Congress more representative, good luck to him again. It's a good move. Number 5, Rahul Gandhi is clearly repositioning himself not as an entitled namdar, but more and more as an anti-establishment figure. And by raising the issue of caste and challenging the dominant elite of this country, maybe that again will be seen as clever politics. So that's where he seems to be getting it right. Some would argue. Now, where do things don't seem to be so right? Please tell me, how does flashing photographs of the budget makers making halwa and suggesting that all of them are upper caste and asking for their caste identities to be revealed, how does that actually ensure social justice? It, for me, seems more like theatrics devoid of substance, but more about kind of empty symbolism. And that is frankly dangerous and not really the kind of direction you would expect a mature politician to move in. Number 2, Rahul Gandhi needs to walk the talk on the caste census. He has a government. The Congress has a government in Karnataka. There is a caste survey which has been done by that Karnataka government. My question is, why not make it public? You see, in Indian politics, where you stand depends on where you sit. You say one thing when you are in opposition, you say another when you are in the ruling government. It is easy to sit in opposition and say, हमें caste census चाहिए. But once you are in the government, you've got to be conscious of maintaining a delicate caste balance. And therefore, it's not so easy to put out a caste census. And that is why it's not fair to blame the ruling government either. It's not so easy to put out a national caste census. It's tough, it's tedious, it requires a lot of research, and it also requires a lot of study and research into the prospective future consequences, positive and negative. Which brings me to my number 3 point, why it's troubling. A caste census, like it or not, will open up a Pandora's box, because suddenly it will lead to greater race for reservation benefits. And is that the kind of race that we want to see in this country? Rahul Gandhi says, jitni abadi utna haq. Depending on your population, get your representation. Okay, all very good. But on the ground, what happens? What, for example, if the caste census shows that in Maharashtra, OBCs have a much higher percentage than the Marathas? Then how will you decide the reservation benefits for the various communities who are demanding it? You are opening up a Pandora's box that will possibly, over time, end up creating further divisions and faulty lines. Number 4, Rahul Gandhi is the leader of the Congress party, a party which for the longest time has not played on this caste pitch. So it's not very comfortable with it. And Rahul Gandhi himself has spoken about Mohabbat ki dukaan. And how do you reconcile? Now, how do you reconcile Mohabbat ki dukaan of bringing people together and at the same time speaking about the caste census, which some people will still see as potentially divisive and hypocritical? And my point number 5, it is good to be angry, but not angry all the time. What have Rahul Gandhi's strengths been in the recent times? That he's being seen as consistent and empathetic. So when he targets the crony capitalism, it comes across as credible, because not only does he target the billionaire Raj, he also does not attend the weddings of billionaires. His empathy seems to be genuine because he's willing to reach out to those who seem to be left out, whether it's the refugees in Manipur in a relief camp or indeed the ordinary laborers on the roads. Rahul Gandhi as an empathetic figure seems to work. Rahul Gandhi as this constantly angry, rebellious young man, I'm not so sure. Because when he takes up issues like Agniveer, NEET, issues linked to people's concerns, Rahul Gandhi is able to, in a way, drive the narrative. But when he gets into the minefield of caste, he has to be very conscious that he has to get into it with facts, hard facts, and be able to then be also seen as a bridge builder. Rahul Gandhi, at the end of the day, my friends, is not Kashi Ram. The late BSP leader could get away by saying, Tilak tarazu aur talwar, unko maro jute char. A kind of anger against the upper caste and the upper caste domination. Can Rahul Gandhi really play that role of a 21st century Kashi Ram? Is he in that sense in the wrong party perhaps to play that role? These are the questions that only the Congress party and Rahul Gandhi can answer in the future. For now, on this editorial, I have laid it out to you as straight as it can be. And think about it. Think about it. Here's a report.
कोई ऐसा व्यक्ति नहीं था जिसने अपना पूरा सपोर्ट कास्ट सेंसस का जो कॉन्सेप्ट है उसको नहीं दिया। तो काफी खुशी की बात है, हमारे यहाँ चीफ मिनिस्टर्स बैठे हैं, हमारे चीफ मिनिस्टर्स ने भी डिसीजन लिया है कि वो भी राजस्थान में, कर्नाटक में, छत्तीसगढ़ में, हिमाचल में कास्ट सेंसस को आगे बढ़ाएंगे. देयर इज अ वेरी बिग डिसीजन टेकन टुडे बाय द कांग्रेस वर्किंग कमेटी. Unanimously, the working committee has supported the idea of a caste census in the country, and I think it is a very, very progressive step, a very powerful step.
And that is a wrap for today's editorial. Till I see you next time, that's tomorrow at 7 p.m. Jai Hind, Namaskar. Keep watching CVR English.